So the city's annual budget is the primary policy document for the city. It establishes what we're going to do for the next year, how we're going to do it, and how we're going to pay for it. So it's really the most important planning opportunity the city takes every year to talk about what it's going to be doing over the course of the coming year. We do have some rules to follow. In Kansas, the budgets for cities are due to the counties by the 25th of August. We have some procedural requirements to do, a public hearing, some notices. So what that means is the budget process really starts in April or May, with city departments starting to put together their projections. With the city manager's recommended budget, which usually comes out about July 1st. And then usually in Topeka, the council spends most of July and a little bit of August talking about that budget, dialoguing with departments, and learning more about what the proposed plan is for the coming year. When we talk about budget, we talk a lot about fiscal year. Fiscal years for Kansas cities are the same as a calendar year. So right now we're talking about the fiscal year 2014 budget. It's a budget that starts January 1 of 2014 and runs through the end of December. What that means is that a lot of our budgeting requires us to have a bit of a crystal ball. We're talking in July about money we're not going to spend until Christmas time in 2014. So a lot of this is educated guess. A lot of this is looking at past trends and projecting those forward. So most of the time when we're talking about the city, we talk about city departments, the police department, the finance department, the mayor's office, the city manager's office. At budget time, we talk about funds. A fund is an accounting unit, and unlike your household checking account, the city has more than 40 different funds that it manages. Some of those funds are required by state law, some of those funds are required by accounting practices, and some the city uses just to kind of keep the accounting easier and more transparent. The fund we talk about most is the general fund, and the reason we do that is it's primarily tax supported, and it includes general government services, including police, fire, municipal court, and a lot of the other kind of typical public services that people see. Other city funds include the water fund, the wastewater fund, street department fund, so there's a wide variety of funds that the city uses. It creates a challenge at budget time because some funds include a single department and some departments cut across multiple funds. So when you talk about the Public Works Department, for instance, you're talking about general fund, street fund, water fund, stormwater fund, sewer fund, and a few others that they manage. So that's one of the challenges that we have, both in conveying the information in such a way that it makes sense, and also presenting it to the City Council so they see it in a way that they're familiar with, is crossing organization lines with budget lines. In the general fund, we'll talk a lot about that today. Again, general fund, general government services, including public safety, financed in two primary ways. So how the budget process, as I mentioned, goes across the course of most of the summer. The city manager presented a recommended budget the last week of June. The council is in the process of meeting with each city department to hear what their plan is for the coming year. The city council has the ultimate decision about what the budget looks like for next year. The budget, when it's adopted, establishes the spending plan for the city in the coming year. We can't spend funds that are not budgeted. It's not permitted by state law. So when that budget is set, that sets the spending plan for the coming year. We can change the budget in the middle of next year, but we have to do most of this process again. And in most cases, the only way we can increase a budget once the fiscal year is started is if we can show that we have a new revenue source that we didn't have when we put the budget together.